Why doesn't someone simplify computers for seniors? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Here's a question I got just the other day. Bottom line here is that someone needs to simplify today's computer operations for seniors, whose goals are likely different than younger and institutional users. Surely someone can come up with a Jitterbug laptop. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that you are absolutely right. Seniors, or honestly, since it's not really an age thing, those with different priorities than the more technologically inclined, are underserved. I totally agree. The bad news? I think it's extremely unlikely to change. But I do have a couple of things to look at. From a tech company's cold bottom line perspective, addressing an older audience is by definition a shrinking market. It's certainly less lucrative than the next shiny thing they want to invest in. From my perspective, it's not an age thing as much as it is an interest thing or an ability thing. And those kinds of things cross all ages. In my recent article, Too Old for Tech, Nonsense, I address my feelings on that matter. There are many legitimate reasons to be overwhelmed by or have difficulty with technology, and most of them are unrelated to age. Nonetheless, most big tech companies seem indifferent to the issues, regardless of their origin. That means it's up to us. Now, I'm in no way criticizing your question or your approach. Your frustration is completely warranted and very common, as are bad and even sometimes embarrassing past experiences. But the reality is that the only thing we have true control over is our willingness to adapt and cope. From my perspective, this isn't just some stoic platitude or theory. I see it play out all the time. People with even a slightly more positive attitude have better luck overall. They experience fewer problems than their less positive counterparts. It's not that the problems are easier or harder. It's that there are fewer problems. It's the weirdest thing, and I'm sure that there's some deep psychological reason for it, but it doesn't matter. I can confirm that a better attitude leads to fewer problems. The good news? Well, our attitude is within our control. Okay, so about that Jitterbug. Jitterbug, shown here on the screen, I've got their website up, is a mobile phone designed and marketed as simple cell phones for seniors. Their smartphone has a larger simplified display and applications customized for its target audience. They also have this bigger button flip phone. Even with aggressive marketing to seniors, the phones might make great devices for anyone who struggles with technology, regardless of age. Now, so far, there's no Jitterbug laptop, but I do have 3 things that I think are worth investigating. The first is the Chromebook. A Chromebook is a laptop, but I tend to think of them as Android phones with a real screen and keyboard, or at least a larger touchpad, and no phone. It's a fine solution for people who just want to surf and email and watch YouTube videos or even stream and more. Many of the apps in the Android Play Store are available, or there's an equivalent. I find it, honestly, much less complicated than, say, Windows or Mac OS. Speaking of Macs, of course, there's the iPad. iPads and other tablets are certainly things that are worth looking into. I know several people who use tablets almost exclusively. This can be a comfortable middle ground. They're very smartphone-likes. iPads run iOS the same as iPhones, and most other tablets run a version of Android, the OS on most non-Apple mobile phones. And they can run a wide variety of available applications. Or not, if you want to keep things simple. You can add a keyboard if you prefer and make use of voice-to-text to dictate email or documents. So GrandPad is another option. It's something I encountered a few years ago. I now have an 84-year-old relative who's using one of these, and honestly, it's been a good experience. It's limited, it's simple, and it's designed to be administered by a more tech-savvy family member to gate what the user can and can't do for their safety. It includes email and YouTube and the like, but not, say, completely open web surfing. I never expected my relative to do email, for example, and yet they've been communicating with my wife regularly that way for a couple of years now. The GrandPad's been great, if somewhat limited, solution for them. I think of Jitterbug as being somewhere between all of these options. I honestly don't know of a more directly comparable computer equivalent. Now, whether a device is useful to tech-challenged users also depends on what kind of support is available. I mean support in two ways, from the manufacturer and from your personal network. Jitterbug phones, for example, have a wide variety of support options, some of which include direct personal contact with an individual to help you. GrandPad, I believe, includes similar levels of support. The support for more generic devices like iPads and tablets and Chromebooks varies a lot based on, well, where you purchase them. That next level support, though, is all about who you can reach out to for help within what I'll call your own personal network. That can include anyone from your more technically inclined family members to support options at local senior centers and libraries. How you will get help using the device can sometimes be even more important than which device you end up using. In fact, one piece of advice I often give is to factor in who can help you in your initial purchase decision. If you have several iPad owners in your circle of friends, for example, that might tip the scales a little towards buying the same device they're using. So, bottom line, consider the devices that I've mentioned above. Even if they're not right for you, do what you can to keep on keeping on anyway. Technology opens doors. Some doors are heavier than others, but almost all are worth a look inside. For updates, for comments, for links related to this topic and more, visit askleo.com/183335. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.